Good morning. This is my video for Teacher of the Year. I want to thank whoever nominated me. I don't know who it was. My name's Sarah Holland. I teach social studies and art at Legacy High School in Southgate. The factors that led me to become a teacher was democracy. I've always been a social scientist. I've always fundamentally believed in democracy. I love art. These all feed into the same thing. So being a teacher meant that I could uphold democracy because schools are the foundation of an educated citizenry. So that's why I became a teacher. The biggest challenge facing that democracy are the intellectual, emotional, and physical challenges of our students. In order to become an educated person, you need to be a whole person. And so having online, one of the things I'm proud of about VAPA is that we have a close-knit community where we can refer kids for psychiatric services, where they have sports facilities. We can refer them to off-site healthcare services if they need it. We have a lot of teachers that are really engaged, that want to do tutoring, that reach out to them, and counselors that help them. And so one of the biggest issues I see is addressing those massive community issues that are coming into the school. And one of the ways we're going to resolve that is actually being a community school that has access to all those resources that they do not have at home. So that would be my biggest suggestion, is fully funding public education in the long term, not just the short term, and having those resources on campus. The biggest way that also helps with our achievement gap. So one of the ways that I help with or I contribute to addressing the achievement gap is, one, working with those resources, advocating for those physical, intellectual, and emotional resources on campus. But in the classroom, one of the ways that I do that is to create relationships with parents. I text them everything I'm doing for the year at the beginning of the semester. I introduce myself. I make myself available outside of school hours. I communicate in both languages. Texting seems to be a good way to do that. So having personal relationships with the family really helps with the achievement gap. The other thing that helps is scaffolding your curriculum, going from COSTAS level 1 to COSTAS level 3, and having reading and writing strategies that facilitate understanding what they're learning in the classroom. For example, what is history? Or for, who is Napoleon Bonaparte? Or who is Malinche? Level 1. Level 2 is, what's the difference between the American Revolution and the Mexican Revolution? Level 3, what if the United States had lost World War II? And then having those reading and writing strategies. Another thing I did is I bridged the gap between subjects. Chemistry, history, English, these do not stand alone. I started a program online where the kids would go from English to U.S. history, and they would see reading and writing strategies from English in U.S. history content, reading and writing strategies from English in U.S. history, and then U.S. history strategy content in English. So they would see how these all interconnect. And so that was really helpful for kids to see, no, you're not just walking into a standalone classroom. This is part of an interactive educational experience where all of these contents are important, and the bigger picture is it will make you a better person to question government, to understand how communities work, so that you can be active and design the community that you want to live in. And that's definitely part of addressing the achievement gap, is also telling them the why. Like, why are you here? Why are you learning this? In correlation with the resources for their physical, intellectual, and emotional needs. And that also brings in parental involvement, like getting to know their families, even if there are language barriers. That all of these work together to create a strong teaching environment, a strong relationship with students. This is why I am a teacher, and I couldn't imagine it doing a different way. Thanks for taking time to consider me.